I'm recording again because the other one's buffering. I don't know where it's going to buffer to, but whatever. So that's why it's awesome that this is inaugural working out kinks. Another reason why my favorite Dimple was joined in, and see, this is a God thing too because she does not get up on Saturday mornings. She's not, yeah, she's not the biggest fan, and she sent me a super cute.
Not an
says,
early riser.
you can't see it at all, but it says "barely awake," and it's a bear. It's a bear because she's so clever. That was a dad joke, by the way. So Jane, you can make fun of all you want to, but that was a dad joke. So what would you say to people who are older thinking about starting whatever, whether it's triathlon, which occasionally that pops into my head, and I think the sprint triathlon would outdo me, so I went, it's fine. What would you say, especially starting older, things to be aware of now that you have some time and experience under your belt?
Without a doubt, aches and pains, first and foremost. Be aware of those, recognize them, honor them, take care of them, and set goals for yourself. You know, if somebody is brand spanking new at something, you know, let's say, if I have the background that I have, as an example, I would have to recognize that there's a lot of work involved here, and work within your limits. Bottom line, work within your limits. If you don't work within your limits, then you're going to potentially injure yourself, and then there goes that potential motivation. You know, I hurt myself. Clearly, if I try this again, I'm going to hurt myself again. So I'm just going to pull back and then try something else. But you have to work within your limits. Understand that you're going to be full of aches and pains, and recognize the difference between muscle ache. We're all familiar with that. Tendinitis. We're all familiar with that. And other people might not be if they're brand spanking new at something. And certainly an injury, like a torn meniscus, or a torn labrum, or a muscle tear. So just work within your limits. That's what I would say. And then be able to recognize that there will be aches and pains in that climb, and or that journey, and honor them, take care of them, and push forward.
I like that. I thought, is there anything I can add? And the answer is pretty simple, no. So that's, yeah, I like that a lot. All right. Well, like I said, I really appreciate you coming. Not just on here. That, yeah, I do that. That's like my micro. But I appreciate being able to have gotten to know you, because I loved my 10 a.m.s, and I was quite happy when you had other people to learn from as well. That is the part that made me happy. And
Mm-hmm.
and I think my favorite moment, one of my favorite moments of being in CrossFit, just in general, was when you and I had a conversation about when I asked, hey, did you want to do this competition, local Granite Games competition?
Yeah.
And your response was not as enthusiastic as I thought it was going to be. And I was just like, oh, I thought you'd be like, yeah, come on, let's get them all. Let's get everybody. And what I loved and the reason why it made me so happy is because it connected you with Chris and with Melanie. And
Mhm.
three amigas, like really, like you ladies are awesome. And I don't know, to me, I think that's the beauty. That's part of the reason why I liked coaching and why I liked being in a position of like owning the gym to be able to
Mhm.
facilitate those opportunities. Love that.
Mhm. And I appreciate you doing that, and I'm sure Chris and Melanie would say the same thing. That was quite a vulnerable moment for me, as you might recall. Um, it was a time when I recognized that I took a 180 in my life. I went from being an athlete that was like the first chosen, or I was a captain, to that person that people would overlook. I would hear people at the gym say, "Hey, do you want to be my partner? Do you want to be my partner?" And I just thought, nobody wants the old lady. Nobody wants me to be their partner. And it was heart-wrenching to recognize that in my mind, nobody wanted to ask me to be their partner because I have gray hair and I'm old enough to be their grandmothers in some cases. Quite the vulnerable moment.
Yeah, and I think, and if I recall, I don't think I said those necessarily the same words, but I think I might have actually. Is that's a limiting point of view. You know, your limitations were self-imposed, and then
Absolutely.
shockingly, you know, fulfillment was on the other side of those limitations because, but it's just funny what is scary to some people,
Yes.
and like you said, it is. Oh, you were adamant. You were like, oh hell no. You're like, well, I'm not gonna reach out. No, thank you very much. Your words can stop now. And I think that's, which is funny because when you came into the gym, you would come in already had that conversation and you were done with it. You're like, nope, doesn't matter. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But then it was almost more of a, which, you know, more, I don't know, like the the sensitive part, the parts where the doubt, you know,
Self-doubt.
yeah, is this, eh, what if I do this and nobody wants to be my partner? What does that mean? You know, and all these limitations. Um, and I think that's kind of what I am so grateful for, to an extent, that because I was going through that when I left the gym. I basically was, well, what do I have to offer? You know, I thought I was a
Mm-hmm.
good coach. I thought I was this and that, and I don't think I am, obviously, because you know, people don't like some of the way I coach, and some people don't even like me apparently. And being such a people pleaser for me in general, I was like, whoa, what does that mean? People don't like me. Not
Mm.
realizing like I have to answer the question
Right.
if people don't like me.
Why? Yeah.
And okay, it's, you know, and I think a lot of people who are older don't attempt something. I mean, people in general don't usually attempt anything if they're not guaranteed a pretty positive outcome. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
human nature. But as we get older, I mean, something simple like a couple days ago, Allison taught me how to do a front flip on the trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
And cerebrally, I was like, oh yeah, this is easy. I can, like, mechanically, everything. You know, physically, I know I'm strong enough. I was like, oh no, yeah, I'm okay. And then it was, but what if you land on your neck? What if you herniate your disc again and it's 6 months of therapy? You're not going to the hospital because of coronavirus. You're going to go to the hospital because you have a,
Mm-hmm.
you know, bulging disc in your neck. And then it was the litany of reasons, limitations. You know, it's no, well, this and this and this and this. And instead I went, I'm going to talk to you. And as soon as I feel high enough, I'm going to spin. And she went, do it. Because, I mean, she's actually even starting to get, because she's 11, she's starting to get more like, oh, I can't wear that. Or I can't, talk like that. Or I can't. And it's hard. And so I think knowing and being such a good example of, for you being such a good example of, listen, I know there's going to be setbacks. I know it's not going to be, hey, in 6 months, I'm going to be exactly where I want to be and I'm going to be on top forever and this and that. And it's the perspective of time and experience, wisdom of understanding. Listen, I'm going to listen to my body. There's a difference between, like when I do lunges, for me, when I do lunges or Bulgarian squats, very specifically, I'll do Bulgarian squats. I can do 7. And I can tell you in 2 days, I'm not going to want to sit down if I have to go to the bathroom. It's not going to want to happen. I'm going to be like, no. And so because for most people, that limitation is part of the reason, that weakness, like what you said earlier, is that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus on my weaknesses so that they're just maybe not as good as my strengths. And doing these, I think, and having people, being available for people to hear you and hear your story and hear that, you're already in shape and you had this, but yet you weren't necessarily gymnastically inclined. And even though you are, you you didn't do it. So it's not, there's a difference. Like, I know I don't sing really well because I've tried singing. I've taken singing classes at college. I needed extra credit. So, but there's a difference between stuff I've attempted and learned that is not something that's a strength, or something as I was in a band because they needed somebody to play bass, and I taught myself a song on the bass. I never played a bass guitar in my life. So that's kind of interesting, but it's, if we don't answer what if, we know the answer, and I think times right now is really important that we ask those what ifs, or, what if I help? What if I reach out? What if I do interviews and connections with people and podcasts? Because at first it was, I kept having all these wonderful thoughts, and, like Barbells and Book Club, thank God for Jane, because she put it, we were at the gym and she goes, yeah, Barbells and Book Club. I was like, thank you. Yes. I was like, I don't know what that's going to look like, but that's what I want. It's like-minded people who get together, and first of all, we should be reading. Reading makes us better. Learning makes us better. Discussing it, having interaction with other people who we already care about, even if we're Democrat, Republican, Green Party, like, it doesn't matter, and now it's so surreal to an extent, because I can't just come over there and give you guys a hug. It's not safe just to get in my car and go to the store. It's not, it's a whole different shift in thinking. And so to an extent, I at this point, especially people who want to try CrossFit, I think it's a wonderful opportunity, because if they don't necessarily have to video themselves or have other people watch, it's almost like okay, I can try this, and I think we just have to say, okay, what if I don't let my fears or my insecurities or my self-doubt get in the way, which is one of the things I absolutely loved about you. And it attracted me to you so quickly, because you went, I want to go to Wadapalooza. And I'm thinking, okay, like, that's, yes. Okay.
That's pretty much what you did too. You're like, okay.
Yeah, because 10 a.m.s are pretty slow. So I went,
yeah.
All right, I guess we're going to see where we are.
I think something to point out too is, we talk about these what ifs and doubting ourselves, But those are really the periods where usually you don't realize it during it, but in hindsight, it's like a big period of personal growth. So like even now when we're all locked
Absolutely.
inside, you know, it's challenging, but hopefully we can all learn something from this.
Mhm. Well, we have to modify our lives completely, completely. And I'm an introvert, so staying at home isn't a big deal for me, but I know for a lot of people it is. And we have to be able to modify our lives. Jeff, you said it in one of your podcasts, reset and I forgot, reset, recharge, reset, I don't remember.
I I know I'm there for those podcasts, but I'm not really aware of what's coming out. And if I didn't mind my voice, I would probably listen to them again.
Yeah,
But I do know what you mean about resetting. It just
you know, you can't do this. You take a step back. Okay, I can't do this, but what can I do? So you just reset. You reset your day, reset your life, you know, for this 24-hour period. Tomorrow might bring different opportunities, but don't let the current circumstances be so restricting on your life that it's going to cause you to go into a deep depression. You just have to reset. These are the current circumstances. This is what we're dealing with, whatever it might be. And this is what I'm able to do. I can't do this, that, and the other thing, but this is what I can do now. And just do it.
just keep moving.
Just keep moving.
I appreciate
Everything,
that.
even your reading, you know,
Yeah.
keep moving everything.
Well, and that's why I love Coach Alley's Better Than Yesterday. And some days it's better than I was this morning, or
Yes.
better than I was 5 minutes ago when I'm in the bathroom going, why did I yell at my kids when they did nothing? Oh, or when I sit there and have a conversation with my wife and she's sharing feelings and I'm going, wasn't I the one that used to get a degree in this? And I'm the one that has not been doing well at sharing. And I think, but like you said, it's that resetting and recentering and being like, okay, this is it. I'm reset and
Yep.
start our day over. Yeah. And just being able to say, well, that was an interesting morning, or apparently I really didn't want to be in traffic because, which is funny because now, how could you flip anybody off in traffic? There's no traffic, so it's kind
Yeah.
of crazy, So I think that's as soon as because I didn't know if this made sense. I didn't know if I just knew that even people who are a little less human unicorn than I am, the other two screens on this screen right now currently, have such a wealth of heart and thoughts and such good stuff that why wouldn't I want to connect that? Why wouldn't I want to be connected to that? Now I'm going to get emotional. And when you had that conversation with me about all the reasons why nobody would want to be your partner, it reminded me that we all, however we look on the outside, everybody, I mean, now it's a little bit easier because you can pretty much say everybody's in quarantine, majority of people are struggling, but you can have somebody who looks all put together and they're falling apart.
They're a hot mess.
They're a
Yeah.
hot mess. And like one connection, like my friend who I talked to, my nurse friend who I talked to last night, and he's in recovery and I'm in recovery, and he came in 2 weeks ago before this happened, and he just said, yeah, I don't know, I've been really struggling, and I not necessarily wanted to use, but I'm just not in a good headspace. And we reconnected, and then all of a sudden now we can't go to meetings, we can't. And so it's from a selfish point of view, being sober and not having that connection with other people who are trying to be healthier, trying to get sober, stay sober, be a better person. That's why the connection works. Yes, it works too because they have different, they'll tell you stuff that says, okay, when you think of robbing a bank, don't rob the bank. You know, to say that out loud, or to say to somebody in an AA meeting, listen, every time I see a stupid, Brinks armored car, I want to rob it. I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to steal the money because I don't want to work and I just want to have money. And then for them, they're like, yeah, that makes sense. Just don't do that. And some people would be like, that's not so good. So
Yeah.
that part's hard, but like, I am very blessed that people feel comfortable enough, like you did, to just open up and share that, because nobody likes the broken pieces. Nobody likes the raw. Nobody. It's a raw nerve, and you're like, hey, bink, 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 bink. Like, let's poke that, not dimple, but raw nerve, because the dimple shouldn't hurt. That shouldn't hurt. Otherwise, you should get that checked out. But and I think for me, I feel honored. I think that's a perfect word. Is when people, or something simple like you two agreed to do this. I felt honored, not because, oh, I don't deserve people to care about me or anything like that. It's, you're going to share your time. And that's, especially now, like, we don't know how much time we have. We're not promised anything.
Right.
And, we have life going on, plus coronavirus going on. And so, some people are working, some people aren't working. So, everybody has to adapt everything.
Yep.
And I'm just beyond honored and grateful that there's people who are willing to get out of their comfort zones and willing to share, because I know there's going to be a woman who's 59 thinking, maybe I want to go to Waterpalooza. That looks fun. Well, hell, it was Miami. So yeah, it looked fun. Most people don't go, hey, I want to go to Madison, Wisconsin in the middle of the summer, because all of a sudden somehow it's hot. Like, who would have thought that? But I don't know. I think your why came through pretty easy. And when you told me, about being blessed to be with your parents and have that lesson of, I'm going to take care of myself the best I can to prolong any, for lack of better word, being ignorant, deterioration of quality of life. I'm going to prolong that as long as I can. And to be able to share that with people is so valuable, because most people, the older we get, we don't get more physically confident.
Right.
And I think that's why I was so impressed at 46. I learned how to do a front flip on a trampoline. And it's funny because Donna does she was a trampoliner in college, but she does backflips. And I was like, oh, I think I want to do a backflip. And then I basically tried to almost poop myself on the trampoline. So I went, no, I'm not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that. Because Allison looked at me like, you're going to do what? And I was like, yeah, never mind.
Never mind.
Not yet. So, like I said, I really do appreciate you taking the time and understanding, like, coming up with positive goals that are attainable and being able to be adaptable when those goals have to adjust a little bit. Something simple like you tearing your hands during a workout. Well, if the next day was going to be hand involved, we have to adjust it. Maybe we're doing more legs. Maybe, know, and it's not a defeat because really the only defeat I think is letting yourself down by not trying something. I mean, I know it's going like kindergarten, but how did we end up forgetting that as adults? Like, how does that happen? I don't even understand.
I don't
know. I tell my kids, if you try, I'm already proud of you. And so I don't know, it's just interesting. So Is there anything you would like to say on our last little bit recording? Because I don't know how long I've been on the second time. So, because time management has never been a skill of mine.
I think it's been like 30 minutes.
Thank you.
Oh, I would just say, you know, given the current circumstances, stay calm and keep healthy. Make your day great. Just make it the best you can make it. That's what I would say.
Just
Oh,
keep
I hear
moving.
that pen.
Just keep moving and make your day great.
Make your day great.
And I'm underlining the make part, because just hoping it's great doesn't work so well.
No, we're you know, we're in charge of our emotions without a doubt, and we can make our day great. Anybody can make their day great. It might take a little bit of work for some people, but we can, you know, make our day great. Looking at those things that, you know, I look outside, I see my friend Detroit, he's this beautiful black horse. I see the birds at the feeder. And my flowers blooming. You know, those are good positive things. I keep the TV off. It's not going to help me. So just look for those things that open your eyes and you can say wow to, and that can help you make your day great.
Thank you, Kim. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Jane,
I
would
appreciate
you like
you.
to say anything?
No.
Okay.
Well, Jane, thank you for your technological expertise. I appreciate that. Yeah, especially when my husband can't fix something. He can easily listen to somebody and know what's going on the screen. I can't. I'm looking all over like, I don't know what you're talking about. Take a picture of it, send it to me, type thing.
That's why it was
So
nice.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, her and Elena helped me out, and we did a dry run because I was like, and she goes, okay, look over here. And I'm like, ah. That's why I was like, I'm not even going to put my finger in your dimple. You
Yeah.
deserve it. You're awesome.
That's funny. That's funny. But thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate all of you.
And then
Or
I'm going
both
to
of you.
I'm going to try to figure out how to upload it. Oh, it's going to end in 10 minutes, but I'm going to try to figure out how to upload it, and then it'll be on that Own Your Area Coaching YouTube channel.
All right, great. Have a good day, you guys.
You
Have a good
ladies too.
weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.